All eyes are on the batters as South Africa take on Australia in the second test, which starts on Boxing Day. It's the first time in a very, very long time that South Africa is getting an opportunity to play in a Boxing Day test against Australia. It's a historic moment. It's something that's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. But ultimately, at the MCG, South Africa is going to be taking on Australia, and we're going to be previewing the game today. But before we get going, before we get started, Merry Christmas, everybody. First and foremost, I would like to say that to every single person that's celebrating Christmas, have a great Christmas Eve as well. Because, I mean, I know you guys celebrate the night before and then obviously the next day, the entire day. So I hope you guys get a lot of presents, etc., and have some amazing time with the family. And I hope you enjoy your day. Before we get going with this show, though, before we get started, please, I would like you guys to do this a couple of things for me. If you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. We're on the road to 4,000 subscribers. So please go ahead and subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell for all future videos. Also, download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. We are working very hard on the next issue. It's a SA20 edition. So please click on the link on the screen as well as in the description. Then if you want to help us grow and promote South African cricket, please get involved with the Patron account. Give us a little bit of a Christmas present or whatever the case may be. If you want to make a donation, the PayPal account is also in the description as well if you want to give us a little bit of a donation. But this is to help us grow, promote South African cricket, and also to help us as cricket as Cricket Fanatics magazine grow as a company. So please get involved with that as well. Then also smash the like button and comment and share, and go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Looking forward to discussing this one with you guys. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics magazine. This is your preview show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we talk about everything that has to do with Australia versus South Africa. Guys, I'm back again. I needed a break. I needed to take a couple of days off. I'm sorry that I went missing. I needed to take a little bit of a mental break just to clear my head, get myself actually mentally ready for this series because though I was preparing myself for the previous series to get up in the mornings at 2 a.m. and cover the game. And the 2 days that it only happened, it made it a little bit difficult. I thought that the 3 days would be off days, but I still struggle to get into the mode of getting back to normal. So I just decided to try and keep the sleeping patterns so that I can keep things going for the next series. It's been pretty difficult to do so. I do feel that I kind of need to get into a groove with regards to sleeping patterns for me to even survive to get up for these games. So I needed to take a little bit of a break where I just cleared my mind and refreshed. But I'm back again for this live shows, of course, and we've got Test cricket to cover, Boxing Day Test at the MCG. There's been a little bit of information that has been given to us by the likes of Justin Salmons and a little bit by Andrik Nokia as well about the pitch. Now, a lot of us complained about the pitch. Actually, it did get a very poor rating as well. And it was, as we all saw, I mean, a 2-day test match, nobody really wants to see that. And it was pretty ordinary from the team with regards to the batting attack. The way both batters batted, or both teams batted, was very poor. But it was a very poor wicket for some. I thought that we should have just applied ourselves better. I don't think that it necessarily was as bad as people made it out to be. I think we applied ourselves poorly. But I do understand where people are coming from with regards to the criticism. The MCG pitch, though, however, is said to be a little bit more softer, and that was 2 days ago or a day ago. Today as well, a little bit softer. Green tops, but not as green as the previous pitch. So I hope that it is a little bit more batting friendly, but I don't hope that they go too flat and try to overcompensate for the fact that this was the previous wicket was a bowler's paradise. I hope they try to get a little bit more of an even ground, an even wicket, so that both batters can be tested and both bowling attacks can be tested. But South Africa, I'm sorry to say, but all the eyes are on the batters. Our batting performance in the last test was poor, to say the least. We did see some flashes, though. I mean, Calvin batted pretty well in his innings. Temba Bavuma showed flashes in both, but I'm hoping that he can go on to score 50s and then even hundreds now that he's batting a little higher. And I would like to see maybe a couple of changes in this team. Um, Me personally, I do think that that Hendrik Klasje needs to get into this team somehow because he's quite informed. Between him and Tienus the Brain, one of them. Um, I still believe that I don't think that Janssen has done anything to deserve to be dropped. So that 7-5 split, I'm still not a massive favor of it. I still like the 6-5, but I do see, given the batting frailties that we had, I don't see why not maybe risking it and maybe throwing in another batter in the mix. But then you have to go on form and pick the player or leave out the player that you feel is the most underperformed. If you want to leave a Seamer out, then it's probably going to have to be Lungi. If you're going to have to leave a spinner out, then obviously you're going to leave, or you're going to have to choose between Lungi and Keshav. Even though I think Lungi and Giri deserves his spot and needs to play every single game, I like the attack as a unit. I think they complement each other well. And if one is not taking wickets, someone else will. The others will. So it's the question of Rassi. I think there's been a couple of questions around Rassi for the test match and for the test series so far, and not a lot of people have been very very happy with the way he's performed. But from what I've heard about the pitches, etc., it does seem to be a little bit less green than the last one, but still the moisture in the pitch is a little bit soft. So I'm hoping that it will dry out completely and we have an equal wicket when it comes to that. Our batters need to step up. Dean Alga needs to score some runs. That has to happen. That's something that needs to happen. Sadiq asking me if you can call in. This is not a call-in show, brother, but you can call in on the review show after the game. We'll definitely have a call-in show on that day. Let me read some of the comments that you guys have to say. With majority of the SA batters above 30 years old, are there very good replacements for them when the senior team retires? I think there's even replacements right now, to be honest with you. I've seen some talented young cricketers that are looking very confident in their first class cricket game. They've stacked up some experience over the last 3-4 years. And I think that they are good enough to maybe get an opportunity and grow as a team and as a unit. That's my personal opinion. I would have always gone with younger players. Raul saying, yo guys, good evening, all good to be back on the live. Hey, Khalid, trust you well. I'm well, thank you. I'm well rested as well. I'm feeling good and fresh. You guys can actually see that I'm looking a lot more less tired and a little bit more energetic, which is good for me. Because I do struggle sometimes with my sleep and my sleeping patterns, etc., and trying to sleep because I do a lot of my education in the evenings, guys, after I'm done with Cricket Fanatics work. If we can score 250, it will be enough. But our batters can't, says Goraf. In my opinion, we should go with a 7-4. We drop Lungi, but I don't think they will drop anyone. It's a do or die match for us. I think SA win the toss. They should bowl, even if it's batting pitch, because we know we can't bat. Interesting points over there. Head and Verena both scored half centuries on the Gabba pitch. So of our batters, if our batters apply themselves, things would have been better. And you're 100% right, Lorenzo. It was about application, and I don't think they applied themselves well. Will CSA and the management team be able to invest in the batters that deserve to be in the side and in the batting woes in the long run? The decline started years ago, and it's quite evident, and it is. And I've been speaking about it 4 years ago. I spoke about having a transitional phase. There we had the likes of Reinhard van Tonder coming through. Tony Lazosi was young at the time, showing his ability. I thought Kyle Verena should have came into the team when Faf and AB and all of them were there to kind of shadow Quinton Cock, because Kyle was excellent from the start of his 4-day campaign. He's been in amazing form. And we've got the likes of Zubair Hamza that made his return yesterday to cricket officially, and he might be knocking on the door very soon for 4-day cricket. And the test side, we've got Keith Peterson still coming back as well. So we do have a lot of talent over there, but I do think that we are 2 or 3 years late on the transition phase, because now we're going to sit with a situation where we're going to probably have to play the next team squad that we pick after this test series. I feel has to go with form, and they need to look at conversion rates and who has been converting very well at domestic level, in my opinion. I would bring in De Bruyne and Klaassen instead of Rassi and Zondo, says Pratik. I spoke about that at the top of the show. If I was going to think about anybody that's going to come in, Rassi and Zondo will probably be the ones that are the four guys. Even though Zondo did perform well, all right, in the last game, and showed that he can hold his own a little bit in the middle, regardless of the pressure around him. Lorenzo says, I'm sorry, but I'm going with seven batters. The 6-5 is not helping us all. The attack of KG, Nokia, Kesh, and Janssen is still good enough to bowl Australia out twice. Now that the pitch test will be our bowling unit, now this pitch will test our bowling unit. Bowling attack will need to go to Australia as early as they can. You know, Lungi's comments made it seem like the pitch and Andrik's comments and even Justin Salmon's comments, from what they've seen from the pitch so far, it does seem like it's bowler friendly. I'm hoping that it will equal out and try out a little bit more so it can be a little bit more batter friendly as the game goes on. Andrik P suggests they are with some are going with Sam's combination. With same combination. Okay, cool. We played 28 tests in the FTP, so it's important to give young ones chances because when these experienced ones leave, it will be completely inexperienced. If not the lineup, bring them in the squad. Yeah, I've spoken about this. I even made a little TikTok video, which you guys really um, peer pressure to do the TikToks actually, ultimately, because if I don't, then you need to kind of stay relevant. I'm not dancing on TikTok with cricket bats and balls. No, I'm not doing that. I'm doing a little videos where I'm speaking about the game, little short clips about my opinions on certain things and what I think is happening. And I made a video about giving youngsters opportunities that have converted. Like I said, this batting unit, a lot of these batters in this top six, Barkal, um, have struggled to score at a domestic level, hundreds at a domestic level. The conversion rates haven't been the greatest. So I've always said, like, it doesn't make sense to me when we go with the domestic experience as a final decider on who's going to play and who's not going to play. Because for me personally, if you're not converting, no matter how much experience you have at domestic cricket, if you haven't been converting in domestic cricket and managed to score big hundreds or convert those 50s or those that you have into hundreds, how can you expect them to do it against all world class attacks around the world? I mean, in conditions that don't favor you. By the way, the conditions in South Africa kind of favor the batters. It should be a lot easier for them to actually score runs domestically than it is internationally. So it boggles me how you can pick players that are not converting domestically. That just doesn't make sense to me because converting is also a mental game. Getting over those hurdles consistently, scoring big runs consistently. That's why we always say send players back to the domestic system so that they can get back into the flow of things and they can get their confidence back because they know they're going to go score runs. It's a bowl friendly, then if it's bowler friendly, then it's common sense would be playing the extra batter, in my opinion. Interesting day tomorrow in the test between India and Bangladesh. Bangladesh can do a massive favor in the beating India. It will put us above them and back in second place. Um, what will the series loss do to the confidence of the players losing to England and then the T20 World Cup debacle? It won't be a good thing for South Africa if they lose hard in this match. And then the next, I think competing and playing well will give them amazing confidence, seeing that they are inexperienced, inverted commas. But other than that, it will be terrible if they lose again. Any news on the new head coach? Nobody's interested in being coach. From what I've heard, those talks have been ongoing, and I think that the DOC and his team have an idea probably of who they're going to select as a coach next. But let's wait and see. If I remember correctly, Neil was named as batting lead. Is he still working with CSA? He was named batting lead. So let me explain the difference. A batting lead has the responsibility of being available when any team in South African cricket needs him, whether it be the SAA, whether it be the under 19 team, whether it be the South African Proteas team, whether it be the women's team, whether it be the under 19 women's team, whether it be some of the players on a domestic level that want to use him. He has been paid by CSA to be available for extra help in case people need extra chances, etc. You heard the story from Ryan Rickleton that called up Neil and asked him for extra help with regards to his technique, etc. Some players are taking initiative and calling him up on their own, but CSA have made him available to help teams and to help them with regards to the lead. It's not the same as a batting consultant or a batting coach for the national side. National batting coaches, etc., will still be selected, and Neil McKenzie is just an extra to try and help out where need be. So that's my understanding of what the lead factor is when you're calling batting lead. And if they do beat India, it's almost like it almost makes our first test loss against Australia null and void, and cause no one expected India to lose to Bangladesh. We just need to beat Australia then, but it will give us some leeway. Should the batters try to attack Australia bowlers instead of playing gritty cricket and defending most of the time, attacking hard helped Australia beat. I 100% agree with you, because if you look at the way Calvin played, he stayed still in his crease and he attacked the ball. If you look at Travis Head played as well, he also attacked the ball. That's how he managed to score his runs too. He was playing positive cricket. He wasn't allowing Australia to rack up too many dot deliveries, or deliveries that are beating the edge or causing havoc. So that was nice from an Australia perspective to see that happen. That was excellent from their perspective. And I think South Africa need to or the other batters need to take a leaf out of that. But we've picked gritty batters. It's the fighting spirit of Dean Elgar that's running through this team, and Cyril Ewe and Rassie van der Dussen, etc. And even to an extent, Temba Bavuma are all very gritty type of batters that want to stay in the middle for long hours and etc. So that's how they are hoping that they're going to get that advantage and win. So it is what it is. I think Ashwell Prince and Neil are really good coaches. Salmons hasn't done much. It's still in our hands to qualify for the WTC. It is 100% in our hands. Is there any check the balance on position of chief selector? Victor has been poor for so long. There hasn't been any news on that. Victor is still the convener of selectors. I do think that the shackles are a little bit more off him now with Enoch in charge than it was when Boucher was coach, for example. I do think that Boucher had a massive say, and even Graham Smith had a massive say in what was happening with regards to the transitions, etc., and people coming through. I think the shackles are a lot more off for Victor now than it was before. I think Klaasen and De Bruin are both attacking cricketers. That's the way to go. Very true, and that's a mindset you can pick on that. You can pick on the mindset of saying, you know what, we need to play more attacking. Let's pick more attacking players rather than forcing gritty players to play attacking. Also, we didn't score against Lion, gave him wickets, which was wrong. As a take the touch, if they can't attack, batters get in shells and wickets fall. And I don't know why. It's Test cricket, and they know they have the all time to bat. I don't know if this T20 and one day cricket is spoiling these people's mentalities completely, and forcing them to pick up habits that are forcing them to actually try and attack when they don't need to. Sometimes just leave it. Just leave the balls. That's what I want to see. What about playing seven batters with our four quicks? Kesh missing out, of course, but if we're honest on greenish bouncy wickets, Kesh won't get much of a bowl. Our seamers are our main weapon. I like that idea. I like that understanding, because Kesh hardly bowled in the last test, so it makes total sense. Problem is there's no one from top five that is attacking player by nature, all are gritty. That is a problem. Klaasen also plays spin well, really well, so that will help us with line bowls. And I agree with you there, Lorenzo. What is the benefit of Zondo? Why not the Zorzi? Okay, so my thought process on Zondo and the Zorzi and the whole thing. I think if the Zorzi had a season like this last season, he would have instantly been selected. But because he was having this season while this team was being selected, etc., I think that's why he didn't make the squad, even though he played SAA and did well. In my opinion, I would have went with the Zorzi. I don't think that Zondo has done enough in domestic cricket over the last 10 years or however much he's been in domestic cricket to prove that he can convert big scores in international cricket. Me personally, I'm all on the conversion rate in Test cricket. I'm massively on that. I'm not so much on the conversion rate in ODI and T20 cricket, because I feel that a good 50 can really win you a match too. But in Test cricket, I want to see conversions, especially from your top order. Batters scoring big hundreds is how you win Test matches. We are not doing that. So we need to pick players that have the best chance of doing that. They need to win only one test in Australia to qualify for the final. Similarly, only one win versus England in ODI series. Shouldn't be too tough to sneak a win here and there. Hardy, do you know what is the scenario for the Proteas to get to the World Cup if they lose 3-0 against Australia? I think Hashi just explained that very nicely in the chat over here. He says to get to the WTC final, they need to win one match versus Australia. Similarly, only one against England in the ODIs should qualify for the World Cup qualification. Surely De Zoysi makes the squad versus the West Indies says Lorenzo. I hope so. I really hope so. And I hope they're having conversations with David Bedingham. Sandro actually batted really well in last innings only if he can repeat it more often. And that's true. Do we drop Rassi and then bring in the attacking batter, or do we drop Zondo, or do we drop both? Or do we give Zondo an extra chance seeing that he put up some fight? Out of all the batters, he put up some fight in the time that he had the opportunity to bat. It's not related to test, but the series against Dutch, all players who will go to IPL won't play series. It's do or die for us to win. If we don't, we will play qualifiers. It's wrong to send them to the IPL. That, bro, we can forget about that happening. They are going to go to the IPL. We know this. We've seen it in the past. They've tried to stop them. They've never been able to do so. So I think it's kind of set in stone with regards to the IPL. India won't be out of the WTC if we lose Bangladesh, but they have to win 4-0 against Australia. I think now Mutasami replaced Keshav because Mutasami may really well like Hassi. Um, yeah, at domestic level. It's a whole different ballgame in the international level. What we have been discussing in the show is quite logical to solve the batting issues. If we know that, why CSA manager can't take the same calls? I don't know, actually. I've asked, didn't really get much of a response. And I think it's maybe a little bit easier for us to sit here with no repercussions, or with no liability. Well, it's not liability. With what's the word I'm looking for? With accountability. We are not sitting here with any accountability. So we can just go out there and just be brave and pick whoever we want to pick, because if they lose, nothing's going to fall on us. No one's going to go and say, oh no, you're an idiot, a fan, because you said the XYZ should play and they didn't. Whatever the case. Oh, and I hope that we don't have a community like that. So yeah, they believe that they're right. And when someone believes they're right, it's very difficult to change their mind on something. Very difficult. Once someone thinks they are right, even when you show them facts, even if you show them hard facts to prove that they are wrong, or that their opinion is wrong, it's very difficult to convince them to fall off it. So I feel that at the moment, I think they're right by picking experienced players, and that experience is the way to go. I'm a person that's a forward thinker. I like systems. I like to think forward. And I'm a person of planning for the future when it comes to certain aspects in things. Um, Zondo knock was just pure luck without any foot movement. Rassi's time is over too. Clock is ticking for Evia too. Rassi is not a number three batter and has been struggling in tests. Do you think, guys, we should maybe swap Timber higher than Rassi? What you guys think? Khalid, what will the selectors do with Ricardo versus the West Indies? Do you think they will select him? I personally don't think so, as they will also kind of silly for the next selecting him. I think that he'll go for his op after the SA20. That's what I'm thinking. And then he'll get himself ready so that he can be in selection for West Indies. They should pick him. He should have been in this test team as well, actually, regardless of this whole injury miscommunication. Talking about the ODI versus England, it will be very interesting to see what they do with Yanaman Malan. He's struggling even in domestic cricket. His strike rate is also worrying. He is struggling. I think we lose 3-0 against Australia. We are out of the WTC. Um, what the fuck? Yeah, you're saying. So what we should do is give young players a chance against the West Indies. She said, "Do not trust spinners as a bowler all over history." Can she said not trust spinner as a bowler all over history? The last 3 years we've trusted the spinner. We picked Keshav Maharaj in almost every single team. CSA gave up. What? CSA gave gap of week to play Dutch series. Should have done all. Guys, you need to write the sentence a little bit better, because I look like an idiot sometimes trying to figure out what you guys are trying to say. That series could have done to play ODI series against Australia and start SA20 later. You know, the SA20's timing was putrid. I don't like the way not putrid, but I don't like where it is situated. I would have preferred it where the Zanzi Super League was. But I know there's a very tight schedule and there's a Women's World Cup and all these things happening as well. But I don't like this January window for it. A lot of people go on holidays and stuff. I don't know how many people actually gonna. I hope that a lot of people come to the stadiums and watch the games, and they're not on holiday or whatever the case may be and missing the games For F's sake, get Miller to play Test. It's not going to happen. You'll do better than the Mugs. Every team has one player like that. Head, Livingston, Pant, even Maxwell. I don't think Miller wants to play Test. I mean, he retired from four-day cricket as well. So I don't think he wants to play Test cricket necessarily. If he wanted to, he probably would have been selected, I think, if he played more four-day cricket and performed at the domestic level. So basically, guys, we're going to have to hope that they select right, that they look at the situation, that they look at the pitch and pick the best team for the game. I'm hoping that the Proteas are victorious. It would really be great to see South Africa win in Australia again. And I'm hoping that will happen. The batters just need to apply themselves. I do think that even if they play their natural games, that we should be able to. But I think I see a sense of nervousness and a lack of confidence with these guys. They don't look confident at the crease. Dean Alger's form recently has been very poor, and I think that will spark the rest of the team. He needs to score runs in this game. He really, really needs to. I think it will push everybody into a feeling of security, which is very important to have a team unit that can trust each other. It takes so much pressure off the bottom order. It will allow Kyle to play in his natural ability to go out there with no worries. It will allow Temba to play out there and play his natural game. It will even free someone like maybe like Rassi, hopefully, if he does play. Just sneak in a win in Australia. Only one win is our shit, and I'm hoping that they can. Guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you guys have an excellent Christmas Eve with your family and friends. And I hope you guys will have an excellent chance. No, Khalid, why do we have to wait 5 hours for Algo? Are the pre-match press so laugh out loud? It's embargoed. That's why. We get an embargo from CSA. So they sent us the one, and the other one's embargoed for 1 a.m. in the morning. So I'm sorry you guys have to wait for that one. But yeah, it's the rules. It's journalistic rules, and CSA's rules. So you'll have to wait 5 hours for it, guys. I'm so sorry for that. Take my comment a lot. I'm sorry. CSA got revenue of 400 crore as per official sources, and New Zealand revenue of 200 crore, which is half of what CSA earns. But CSA were talking, we don't have money. See, New Zealand, they didn't say anything like CSA. Yeah, but South Africa has a lot of issues that the money just disappears. Once you make money, the money just disappears. So much debt, so much issues in administration at different provinces, etc. So it's a big, big problem over here. A big, big problem. It should bowl first, winning the toss, not taking the ego and batting first. Play to your strengths. Guys, I agree with that, actually. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you guys get amazing presents and have an amazing time with your friends and family. Please subscribe to this channel. Click that notification bell for all future videos. We are getting closer and closer to that 4,000K mark. So 4K mark, sorry, not 4,000K, 4K mark. So please help me over there, guys, to get to that milestone. Also, subscribe to Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well in the description. And become a patron to help us grow and promote South African cricket and grow Cricket Fanatics Magazine. Also, go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. Guys, enjoy your Christmas. I hope you guys have a fantastic year and a fantastic day and tomorrow and this evening. And I'll see you guys extremely, extremely soon. I'll also be buying as a token for Christmas too. I bought myself a whole chicken. I told myself before, and I said I'm going to buy myself a whole chicken, and I want to buy this whole chicken on indirect heat, and I want to buy a nice lazy age ram steak and have a nice Christmas. Even though I don't celebrate Christmas, it would be nice to see some friends and family. It's an excuse to see some friends, close friends of mine as well. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care, everybody. Peace out, and be safe on the roads, please. It's Christmas Eve, so don't go drive drunk and all of those type of things. Stay home with your families, etc., and enjoy your evening. Peace out.